Hello friends, welcome to Suresh Aggarwal's Mathematics Shortcuts. The topic of LCM and HCF. It's very easy to find the LCM and HCF, and you find so many tricks on the internet, on YouTube, where they tell you how to find the LCM and HCF just by observation. Even this channel has so many tricks based on that. Now, if you are good in finding LCM and HCF, it doesn't mean that you will be able to crack all the statement problems based on LCM and HCF. There are smart things which you have to learn and you have to be acquainted with, and you have to practice so that you can crack those questions. So the intention of making this video is to tell you those smart tricks, and the video will take up how many? 6 different tricks to solve all questions based on LCM and HCF. And once I start discussing the questions, you will know how important these questions are, right, for a class 7 student or a class 10 student for board exams, and even for all the quantitative aptitude exams in which the number system topic is there, right? So watch the entire video. You need to watch the complete thing, the complete concept, complete demonstration, so as to learn and acquire these skills. And if you have not clicked the subscribe button till now, please do it now, because the channel is for you. And if you have not clicked the bell shaped icon, you need to click the bell shaped icon also, so that you keep on getting the notifications of all these useful uploads and you don't miss out on anything. All these short tricks which I have been telling you over so many years time, have been put into a small ebook of short tricks, which carries a nominal cost. If you want to get the complete ebook of short tricks along with the reasoning course combo which we are giving currently, then you can send me a message on WhatsApp 9896369963. That's the number. So you can jot it down and I'll tell you how to get a copy of those ebooks. Very important for all the quant exams. So friends, let's get going and see this topic of LCM and HCF. 6 important tricks, 6 important questions will be solved within no time. The first question is, there are 6 bells and they are tolling at different intervals. The first one tolls at 2 seconds, every 2 seconds, and the second one tolls at every 3 seconds. Likewise, 6 seconds, after every 6 seconds the third bell is tolling, and then 8 seconds, 10 seconds and 12 seconds. So these are the time intervals at which the 6 bells are tolling. So they start together, they start tolling together, and we need to find how many times will they toll together in 30 minutes. Okay, so at any particular time they start tolling together, and then they toll at different intervals. We need to find in 30 minutes of time how many times will they toll together. Okay, very, very important and very, very common question for board exams and also for the quant exams. So what do you do in such cases is, just take the LCM of these numbers 2, 3, 6, 8, 10, 12. Now, so many of the students will struggle in finding the LCM also. So, I'll tell you the trick, okay. Now, here you can see this 2. 2 divides 6, right? So, 2 is a factor, right? So, forget the factor. If there is a factor, forget it. 3 divides 6, forget 3. 6 divides 12, forget 6 also. For 8, 10 and 12, they don't divide each other, right? So, if I find the LCM of these 3 numbers, I will get the LCM of all 6 numbers. So how do I find the LCM of 8 and 10? 10, obviously it has to be a multiple of 10, right? So 10, 20 is not divisible by 8, 30, 40. 40 is divisible by 8. And now if you consider 40 and 12, 40 is not divisible by 12, 80, 120. 120 is divisible by 12, and so the LCM of these 6 numbers is actually 120. So what is this 120? It means that after every 120 seconds, the 6 bells are going to toll together. Okay. Now 120 seconds means 2 minutes. That means after every 2 minutes, the 6 bells are going to toll together. Now how many, what is the time given here? 30 minutes. So the first thing which comes to your mind is, oh, 30 minutes means 30 divided by 2, 15 times, right? And suddenly you will realize you committed a mistake there. Why? Because they start tolling together. So at 0 time, that means when you started counting the time, they tolled together. And then they tolled together after every 2 minutes. So the number of times which you have to find will be 30 minutes, the total time, divided by the time after which they are tolling together. Add 1 to that. Now this is very important, adding 1, and therefore the answer will be 30 divided by 2 is 15, 15 plus 1 is 16 times, and that is the answer for the question. And so many of us will be marking 15 times here, which will be wrong. Okay, so that was the first smart trick which I wanted to tell you. Let's discuss the second question now. The sum of two numbers is 528. Okay, so there are two numbers A and B whose sum is 528 and the HCF is 33. Oh, great. So whenever you are given that HCF of two numbers is, like in this case it is 33, we are asked to find how many such pairs of numbers are possible. Wow, different question, right? Let's check. So that means 33 is a divisor. See, HCF is 33. What does it mean? It is a factor, right? F means factor. So 33 will divide both A and B. And that means I can write A as 33 times something, and let's call that as X. And B as again 33 times something, because the highest common factor is 33. So 33 divides A and 33 divides B. So A is 33 times something and B is also 33 times something. Now A plus B is 528. So if you see 33x plus 33y is 528. So x plus y will be, if you divide throughout by 33, you will get 33. If you divide by 33, so 8, 3, so 6, right? 18 divided by 3 is 6. So either it is 6 cannot be the answer, so it is 16. See, I divided it using some logic which you can try yourself. X plus y is 16, and now I need to find how many pairs of natural numbers give me the sum as 16. So I'll list down, okay, but I tell you there is one very important thing to learn. Just wait. So x plus y is 16 means 1 and 15, 2 and 14, 3 and 13, 4 and 12, 5 and 11, 6 and 10, 7 and 9, 8 and 8, right? After that it is repetition, 9 and 7 is already written. So our answer can be 8, but it is not the answer. Why? Because the two numbers cannot be same. If I take x and y both as 8, then both the numbers, these two numbers will become same. So this cannot be the answer. Now the important point. The numbers which add up to 16, this number x and this number y, they have to be co-prime. Now this is the important concept and important trick. I have to find out the numbers which are co-prime, because 33 is the highest common factor. So x and y cannot have anything else in common. You understood? If x and y also has a common factor, then 33 will no longer be the HCF. And so 2, 14 is not possible because it has 2 as a common factor. They are not co-prime. 1, 15, yes, they can be 1, 15 because 1 and 15 are not divisible by a common number except 1, right? 3, 13, yes, they are co-prime. 4 and 12, not at all. They are divisible by 4. 5 and 11, yes. 6 and 10, no, they are divisible by 2. 7 and 9, yes. And therefore, the answer for the question is, how many such pairs of numbers are possible? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pairs of numbers is the answer for the question. Very, very important question for the quant exams, friends. And please practice these type of questions, okay? Let's get on with the third question now. The LCM and HCF of two numbers is 3094 and 34. So the LCM is given in the question as 3094 and the HCF is given in the question as 34. If one of the numbers is 238, so one number, let's call it say A, okay, is 238, we need to find the other number. Let's say we have to find B, right? So this is a very common question and I am taking this question because the concept will be used in some of the questions which I am going to do subsequently, okay? That is why I have taken this question, right? So there are four things: the first number A, the second number B, the LCM of those numbers and HCF of those numbers. Whenever you are given three of those things, you can actually find the fourth thing. How? The product of numbers A and B will always be equal to the product of HCF and LCM of the numbers. This is the important relationship which we have to use. Now in this case, we have to find B. HCF is 34, LCM is 3094 and the number, the first number A divided by A, you get 238 here. And now we can just cancel the common factors. I think 34 and 238, they will be cancelling each other maybe 7 times. 7 4s are 28, 2 7s are 21, 23. Obviously, yes, it is 7 times. And then 7 cancels this. 7 4s are 28, 29 means 4s are 28, 14 means 2, and your answer is 442. This is the second number. Very easy, right? This is a very common concept and a very common formula, okay? Now let's see how this formula can be used to crack another question. So in this question here, the LCM of two numbers is 14 times the HCF. Oh, I'll call the LCM as L, okay? And HCF as say H, right? So it is given that the LCM is 14 times the HCF, right? This is given in the question. The sum of LCM and HCF is 600. L plus H is 600. See, using these two equations, we can find a L and H because there are two variables and two equations. And one number is given 280. So say A is 280 and we have to find the other number B. Now I told you LCM into HCF is equal to product of numbers. That is one thing you can use in this question, right? But for that you need to find LCM and HCF. Is there a smarter trick? Let's check. Now, I told you the formula which I am going to write now, L into H is equal to A into B, right? So let's put whatever is given. L is 14H. So if I put 14H here, 14H times H is equal to A is 280. So 280 into B, which gives me 14H square is equal to 280B. And I can actually divide by 14 throughout. So this will give me H square equal to 14 cancels 280 20 times 20 into B. So H square is 20 into B. Now what value of B will give me a perfect square, because H is a what? Whole number. Now the question gives me some options here. The question says the options which are given, let me just check, 40, 60, 80 and 100. So A 40, B 60, C 80 and D 100. Now it's an MCQ. So I have given you the options because after this step the answer is hidden in the options. H square, so 20B has to be a perfect square, right? And just check which value of B gets me a perfect square. If you put 40 here, 40 into 20 is 800. 800 is not a perfect square. If I put 60, 60 into 20 is 1200. 1200 is not a perfect square again. But if I put 80, 80 into 20 is 1600, which is 40 square, right? And 80 becomes my answer, because if you look at 100, 100 into 20 is 2000. 2000 is also not a perfect square, so that is also ruled out. Now this is one way you can solve it. Otherwise, use these two equations, find L and H and put them here, and you will get the value of B directly. But for that you have to solve these two equations and get the value of L and H. So there are two methods now which you know and you can be smart, you can pick up the method which suits you the best and which saves time in the exam. Right. Let's say this question. Find the largest number which divides 30, 78 and 102, leaving the same remainder in each case. So again, a very important question for quant exams and very important for class 10th board exams also, right? So there are some options given here also. I'll write them directly. So A is 8, B is 16, C is 20 and D is 24. Now these are the options given in the question. Largest number which divides 30, 78 and 102. Which divides 30, 78 and 102, leaving the same remainder in each case. Now this question actually requires smartness and not a method actually. Okay. Now all these numbers which are given, since we have to find the largest number, so let's start with the largest only, 24. Okay. If you divide 30 by 24, what is the remainder which you will get? 30 minus 24, the remainder is 6, right? If you divide 78 by 24, you will get 78 minus 24, 3s are 72. So the remainder is again 6. And if you check the third one, 102 divided by 24. 24 into 4 is 96, right? So remainder will be 102 minus 96, which is again 6. See, the same remainder. And so the largest number also becomes your answer. But had the remainder been different for any number here, okay, then you would have tested 20. This would have been ruled out and this would have been checked like this now. Do you get a same remainder? But fortunately for us, 24 gives us the same remainder, and so that is the answer. So you got to be a little smart. Okay, let's not use any method for such questions in case of multiple choice questions. Well, let's see the last one. Find the smallest 5-digit number. Oh, smallest 5-digit number I know is 10,000, right? Okay, but that is not the answer. Which is exactly divisible by these three numbers. So whenever he is talking about a number which is divisible by some small numbers, we are talking about LCM. Okay, so let's first take the LCM of 12, 15, 18. How do I find the LCM of 12, 15 and 18? 12, 15 and 18. Let's take 12 and 15 first. 15 is not divisible by 12, 30 is not divisible by 12, 45 is not divisible by 12, 60 is divisible by 12. So 60, the LCM of these two is 60. Now talking about 60 and 18, 60 is not divisible by 18. How about 120? Not divisible. How about 180? Yes, it is divisible. See, this is how you find the LCM by observation. So the LCM of these three numbers is 180. Now when he is asking you to find the smallest 5-digit number which is divisible by these, so the smallest 5-digit number will be divisible by the LCM. Then it will be divisible by all three numbers, because multiple, lowest common multiple. Common multiple means a number which is divisible by all the small numbers. So I am going to take the smallest 5-digit number and I am going to divide it by the LCM, 180. So 180 5 times is 900. That gives me 100 and the 0 comes down. So again 5. So this is 900 and I get a remainder of 100. Right? So where is my answer? The answer is, see, 10,000 is not divisible by 180. So 10,000 cannot be my answer because it is not divisible by 180. So it is not divisible by these three numbers also. If this number 100 becomes 180, then it will be completely divisible. So the difference between the divisor and the remainder, this is important in these type of questions. What is the difference? 180 minus 100, that is 80. So what happens to the number 10,000 now? The required number will be 10,000, the smallest 5-digit number, add this difference to that, you will get your answer. 10080 is the smallest 5-digit number, which is exactly divisible by 12, 15 and 80. So smart tricks, friends. These are only LCM and HCF based questions, and these are particular questions which you should know to crack the multiple choice questions very quickly and very accurately. So friends, practice these type of questions. Just watching the video will not solve the purpose. You have to practice such questions and make sure that you know all tricks, you are able to apply the tricks whenever required. Okay friends, do share this video with all your friends who are in class 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, any CBSE class or ICSE class, and all those who are preparing for placement exams. A boon for you. This video will prove to be so beneficial. So all the best for your practice.